Russell Wilson joins a division loaded with quarterback talent. Lamar Jackson, obviously the reigning MVP, while Joe Burrow already made a trip to the Super Bowl, obviously wasn't healthy this season. And the Browns have Deshaun Watson, who only started 6 games for them last year, but Cleveland still won 11 games under Joe Flacco. All right, S.A., you're up first. This is your team. You follow them closely. Do you feel like your Steelers are legit contenders in a very tough AFC North with Russell Wilson at the helm?
Yes. And it's really not about Russell Wilson. It's about the Steelers collectively and what's transpiring around them. We watched Miami fade as the season progressed, and we knew that they were, allergic to inclement weather, and they weren't going to do anything outside of South Beach. We saw Buffalo come on strong with Josh Allen, but we've seen what's been transpiring in this offseason. We have to wonder about the future of Stephon Diggs in Buffalo, by the way. Expect that to become a subject that percolates in the days to come, in my humble opinion. We look at the health of Joe Burrow. That's not guaranteed. We looked at Baltimore and what happened in the AFC Championship game. There's question marks there. There's a question mark with Deshaun Watson in Cleveland and whether or not he will ever return to the days of old. We know what Patrick Mahomes is and what he brings to the table. We believe in Jim Harbaugh and, of course, Justin Herbert, but we still have to see it. When I take those things into consideration and I look at a Steelers defense that's basically lugged their team to the playoffs, okay? And I say to myself, if you can give me any efficiency offensively, let's call it what it is, guys. It can't get worse. It can't get much worse. 25 touchdowns in two seasons, 25 touchdown passes in 2 seasons. That's what the Steelers have had going on. But last time I checked, Najee Harris could ball. This kid Warren out of the backfield, he's elusive. He can ball. Pickens is all world. This brother could do some things. If you're not going to keep Deontay Johnson, I have no reason, looking at the Steelers' history, to believe they're not going to make up for any potential loss at the wide receiver spot, because the one thing they seem to pluck, I don't know how they do it, but every single year they've got all worldwide receivers. They just find it. Freiermuth is a bad boy at the tight end spot. He's no scrub, and the offensive line is not shabby. It needs to improve, but it's not shabby. So I'm looking at the Steelers, and the question mark about the Steelers was your quarterback play. And I'm going to go to D.O. and what D.O. has said, Shannon. When you look at a Russell Wilson, 13 interceptions is the most he has thrown in any season in his career, and he only did that once. 2 or 3 other times he threw 11 interceptions. Every other year it's been less. He doesn't turn the ball over. Yes, he's a bit reluctant and hesitant to throw between the numbers, throw it down the middle of the field. I get that. That annoys coaches. We've heard people complain about that. But when I look at the Steelers defense and the offensive weapons that they have and how it comes down to a quarterback who, by the way, is experienced, a Super Bowl champion, a 9-time Pro Bowl, who's got a lot to prove, Shannon, because as a leader, and as somebody who's willing to return to reminding folks, he know what it is to be a team leader and a team player. He's got some things to prove as well. I like the Steelers. I'm not saying they're going to win it, but I like their chances in terms of being a competitor. I'll give them that much.
Yeah, I caught on to that little almost potential Buffalo bomb. You just kind of hinted at, Stephen. I got no reason to doubt you either. So I picked up on that one. I think they're legit. And that's for me, that's the difference. Yesterday morning, they weren't. They were not legitimate division contenders. They are now. And if we compare Pittsburgh in comparison to the division rivals, you know, Pittsburgh has got a really solid defense that mostly everybody is going to come back, and they got some nice young pieces. Their offensive line started to really play well in the run game and much improved in the pass protection game. They got people they could throw the football to downfield, mainly George Pickens. And so I look at the offense talent-wise and I go there. Then I go Arthur Smith, their offensive coordinator. Why did it fail in Atlanta? 1, quarterback threw too many interceptions. 2, they had no speed on the outside. Not an issue for both Russell Wilson and Pittsburgh. So I like the marriage between Russell Wilson, the talent already there, and the play caller on top of the defense. I love Baltimore. Are they going to keep Patrick Queen? They had the best duo of inside linebackers in football last year. Can they keep Patrick Queen, or is he going to go to Seattle? Can they keep Geno Stone, who is a big part of their football team, or is he going to go to Seattle? So Baltimore's got some questions. Baltimore doesn't have a ton of answers at tailback right now either. Dobbins and Mitchell are going to be coming off of injuries. Right. OBJ is not under contract. So, Baltimore has some questions. Cincinnati, I just watched you guys do the segment on T. Higgins. That's a massive loss if he doesn't play for the Bengals. If the Bengals had the best trio in sports, you know that, Shannon, wide receiver-wise. Both T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd could be gone. That changes the Bengals, and they're a very young football team. Cleveland, we'll see. So I just, this was a division that I would have thought, well, the Steelers got a shot. Maybe it's the third or fourth best shot, and it's a long one. Now with Russell Wilson, if he plays the way that he has for a couple years, yeah, it's legitimate. Absolutely.
They are. Cleveland's going to be better. They just made the trade for Jerry Jeudy. Amari Cooper had one of his better seasons. They still have Njoku. The question remains about Cleveland. How soon and how close will Deshaun Watson get to the last time we saw Deshaun Watson in Houston, when he played a full season and he led the NFL in passing yards? Can he get back to that, or can he get close to that? Hey, Baltimore, all those people that you name, all that goes away if they sign Saquon. Can you imagine you put Saquon Barkley in that offense with Lamar Jackson, with the receivers, with Bateman and the young kid they just got, and you got Lively, you got Andrews coming back. Offensive line is solid. Can he get back to close, even if he can't come all the way back?
Question.
Because Russ used to be in the MVP discussion.
My point is this. Here's the bottom line. The questions that you brought out about everybody else is what also helps the Steelers be a legitimate contender in the North, because everybody else got questions. I mean, it's like it's
I ain't got no question about Lamar.
Excuse me?
I want to hear that one. Hold on. I want to hear that one again.
I ain't got no question about Lamar.
Why would you not? Why would you not?
I want you to. I want to remind you that in September and October next year.
Yeah,
no. Remind me of that in January. Don't remind me about anything in September, October, November, December. Remind me about that in January.
Okay.
January.
January's good enough for me. January's good enough for me.
Don't tell me. Hey, Stephen A. Hey, Dio, don't tell me about eggs in February and March. Tell me about them in April. That's when it's Easter. That's when eggs are important. Eggs are not really important in any other time of the year other than Easter. Talk to me then.
I love eggs.
Well, actually, I love eggs. Eggs are important all year long. I don't know what you're talking about, Shannon.
Try to get egg day.
No, you're not.
Shannon, what do you have? Egg whites? What's your deal? You don't eat eggs? All that muscle? Come on, get out of here. You know you're
I eat eggs, but I'm just saying. I tell you what, let there be a shortage of eggs come Easter, and you're going to see a lot of disappointed kids. They ain't got nothing to hunt.